Hey guys, welcome back to Kathy Meadows. It's been a few days since I made a video. Sorry about that if you've been anxiously awaiting the new one. Nothing really different's been happening. We've just been moving the animals and feeding the animals, and well, honestly, I was not sure that y'all wanted to see the same thing day after day after day. So I was kind of waiting for something new to come up to kind of show everybody. So what we've got, I just put 22 eggs in my incubator. I know that's not a lot, it's still small time. I've had pretty decent success hatching eggs in the past. Not great success, but it's a little hobbyist incubator that I bought off Amazon that's worked real well. Some of my hatch rates have been as high as 80 to 90%. Some of them have been as low as about 25%. And I don't think it's the incubator so much as it was my rooster causing the low hatch rate. But anyway, I digress. The biggest problem I've had with my chicken enterprise trying to raise and sell chicks and chickens has been my brooder. The incubator hadn't really slowed me down. I could hatch as many as, about 16 a week if I wanted to do that. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it sure adds up if you have a hard time selling them. And so what I've found difficult with this has been a brooder. Commercial brooders work wonderfully. I've got a friend that raises quite a few chickens, and he has a nice commercial brooder, and I am envious of that. But I can't afford it. They're over $1,000 new, and I have not yet found anybody with a used one that they were willing to sell me. So I'm stuck trying to make brooders. I've used so many different things now through the last couple of years as brooders. I want to show you some of the things I've used. I want to show you some of the things that I've used and tell you what the pluses and minuses are, and tell you about what I'm going to be doing for a project to try to solve this problem. First thing I started with was the biggest Rubbermaid tote I could find. Okay, I took that tote, see if you can see it. It's a big Rubbermaid tote. It's just got trash in it now. I just use it to collect trash that I need to throw away when the trash cans are full. I put wire over the top of it, and I put some shavings in the bottom of it, and heat lamp, and wow, it worked as good as it works in Tractor Supply. Kept the chickens alive. The problem is it's not insulated very well, so it needs to be relatively in a temperature controlled area so that there's not vast fluctuations in temperature. It would work fine in the summer. It would not work real well in the winter outside. The other issue with it being outside is predators. That's all the little chicks chirping and the red light, and nothing to protect them outside. So it's not very safe for them outside, so I had it inside. And if you've raised chickens before, you know where this is going to go. But the problem isn't how well it works, it's how bad it stinks. After a short period of time, the chicken manure builds up in there, and it begins to stink real bad. If you've ever driven past a chicken farm, you know the smell. It concentrates in your house pretty quick if you're trying to raise them in the house. So that was, I got the warden told me not to do that. I had to put them out. The next thing I did, I've used plastic dog kennels. Walk over here and pardon the mess, but I'm in the process of getting some stuff cleaned up and straightened up. But show you this, I got a large plastic dog kennel that I've used as a brooder. Let's see here. Right there. The goats jump all over that. I've used that as a brooder. Throw some pine needles or pine shavings in there, and heat lamp. Obviously with a heat lamp, your risk is fire. The other risk that we've had is the lamp going out and the chicken's getting too cold. So that's a danger. Don't want to have that happen, but it also stinks. So it's a little more secure from the predators. Not terribly secure, but a little bit more secure. It also stinks, so I'm not allowed to leave it in the house. We had a freezer, a stand-up freezer that stopped working. Sorry, I'm adjusting my electric fence, trying not to get shocked. That stopped working, stopped cooling. So I cut a hole in the stand-up freezer. I'm going to show you that. It's going to be dark. I'm going to get the light turned on. Cut a hole in the door of the freezer, and it let's see if we can get it shown here. The lights aren't going to come on. Oh no. All right. So, stand-up freezer. Holes cut in the door of the freezer. Now, I was standing up and I used the shelves. I put flooring. I put pieces of wood. I put down on the shelves to make levels for the chickens. And it was great. It's insulated enough that I could keep them outside even if it was cool. But when it was standing up, when I opened the door, the chickens would hop out. And so I was constantly having to try to like wrangle baby chickens with the standing up version of this. When that was standing up, I was constantly having to wrangle baby chickens. And that was no good. That was a problem. So I laid it down. When I laid it down, no longer having to wrangle baby chickens. That was wonderful. It solved the problem. The problem became cleaning it out, back to the problem with it filling up with chicken manure and starting to stink real bad. And I wanted something that was easier to clean. On a side note, that freezer brooder, snake got into and ate a bunch of baby chicks one time. I don't know how to make it snake proof. I don't know that I can, but that's another issue with that. I don't know the solution beyond killing the snake, and that's what I ended up having to do because it kept coming back. But anyway, when I laid it down, that solved the problem. We solved the insulation problem, solved the size problem. The stink problem was not solved. It still stank, and it stink's not going to go away completely, but I hope it will be less. But anyway, I had broached this subject with a fella that I met at it's called Trade Days. It's basically a big flea market or almost a garage sale. Everybody brings whatever they want. They rent a spot and they sell. Well, this gentleman, he's in his 80s. He's been doing this a long, long time. And we made friends, hit it off pretty good. And I was asking him, what he did for brooders. And he said, well, I make my own so that he doesn't have to spend $1,000 on a brooder. Makes sense. And I said, well, do you mind showing me? And so what he showed me was a big water tote. And I just happen to have one. What he does with his totes, okay, I'll try to show you here, is he cuts the plastic in half, takes the bottom half out, and uses the top half. He makes a floor out of wire so that the chicken, just like my chicken coops, if you've seen my chicken coop video, floor of wire, so that the manure falls through, hopefully, and puts feeders and waterers there, and cuts doors through the metal so that they can get to the chickens, the chicks, and it seems to work pretty well. I went over to his house and bought a couple Muscovy ducks, and he showed me around and showed me his brooders, and it works for him. I'm going to see if it works for me. So my project here will be trying to make a chicken brooder out of this water tote. So thanks for watching so far, and I'll be back with that project.